Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Now, somebody in the comments asked me to touch on the 3 B's. Talk about the 3 B's again. Now, the 3 B's is brains, brand, and body. And we're going to start with brains. And I put these in order. Now, this is a concept that I created. It's interesting that some of y'all was telling me about somebody talking about some 4 B's. That sound like, for somebody to say 4 B's, that sound like they know who I am, whoever created that. Sound like they know who I am and just tried to pervert it and make it something else. I don't know what that's about, but whoever started it, some of y'all, from what I seen, y'all say it sound satanic or something crazy, but you always, if that's the case, you always gonna have some idiots. I haven't looked into it, don't really care to look into it. I just teach what the Lord give me to teach, and I really don't worry about what other people teaching. Another lesson for y'all is an easy way to get blocked on my page is saying somebody's name in the comments. If I don't say somebody's name, that means I'm not stamping them. I don't stamp them, so don't put names in my comments, because although you may know somebody and you may be spiritually able to handle that person's message, when you say their name, somebody may go to that page and they are a baby in the Lord and they are not spiritually mature enough to handle that person's message, and it really disturbs their spirit and taints their spirit. So be careful putting names in the comments. I know we love to be smart and we love to know something, but just keep that out of there, because I have to delete those or block you. So just keep that in mind. Now, starting with the brain, the reason why I put brains first is, and I put body last, that's intentional. Because body image, we struggle with that, and it's a lot of insecurity around the body. And then you can have an amazing body, but if you ain't got no brains, then you bankrupt. So that's why I put brains first. So with the brains, I want you to understand that this encompasses your faith. This encompasses you getting knowledge, book knowledge, street knowledge, love knowledge, relationship knowledge. It's a difference between love and relationship. Marriage knowledge. This is where the brain comes in, because with the brain, this is what you doing when you on here. That's why every single day that you watch a video, any day you watch a video, that's the B that you taking care of, the brain. You taking care of the brain, because that right there is what helps you learn, and it helps protect you. So you want to feed your mind. And in feeding your mind, you can have different things that you do in a day, or you can have seasons. So if you want to do seasons, that may mean you watch one of my videos, because if you watch one of my videos, I'm gonna just throw me in there, because that obviously means you watch me. You may be watching one of my videos and you watch a video every day. If I post every day and you watch every day, if you watch somebody else, then you may have it to where you watch my video in the morning or in the afternoon, you watch their video at night. If you watch 3, 4, 5 people, you find a piece of the day. Now, the thing about it is you just have to make sure that you're not mixing penicillin with poison, or water with poison. So if you watching healthy people, that's all you need to know is about the healthy people. Some of y'all, for an excuse to watch red pill content and to watch ghetto ratchet content, y'all say, oh, I just watch that for entertainment. There's no such thing. That's not how the brain works. Anything you feed your brain, it uses it. What you see, what you watch, it shapes your thoughts. It shapes your feelings. So while you watching that toxic content, you telling yourself you have power and control. You telling yourself you able to watch that and it has no effect over you, but you actually becoming more disgusted with men. And the thing about it is sometimes you'll blame us. You'll say, oh, I'm watching your videos, that making me not want to date. It ain't these videos that's making you not want to date. It's the other videos you watching with it that make you not want to date. Because if you just watch these type of videos alone, it's going to make you confident for dating. But when you watch these and you go watch the devil minions, now you're going to be depressed and not want to date. So you have to be careful with the brain phase of the 3Bs. You got to be careful with what you feed your mind. You have to curate your feed. And my wife, she doesn't watch like, self-development type stuff and all of that. For whatever reason, I don't think she thinks she need it, probably because she lived with me and because we always kind of in self-development. But she curates her feed. Like on her TikTok, her Instagram, she curated to what she want to see. So it's sports, it's like homemaker stuff, and it's like beauty and fashion. That's it. It might be a little bit of like dad humor and then like animal humor. But that's it. It's no real like gossip. If she sees something that might be a gossip thing one time, she sent it to me. So she got a little bit of that she send to me for video content. So sometimes I find out about stuff from her. Now, I don't use social media. So I have TikTok. I don't go on TikTok at all to scroll. I have Instagram. I go on there sometimes and scroll for a little bit, but I really just be checking my messages and stuff like that. So I don't really have a feed. And then on YouTube, I will use YouTube. I'll watch stuff that's like educational for the space I'm in. So if I'm working on my body, I'm watching some stuff on that, sleeping, losing weight, burning belly fat. So I'm what I need. I'm not spending time on the gossip channels. Only time I go to a gossip channel is if it's something y'all done brought to my attention and I'm trying to hear what people saying so I could talk about it on a video with enough insight. But as y'all know, a lot of times when I'm doing those videos, what you'll notice is I don't even be really knowing the person name that good. Sometimes I don't know the story that good, but I get the gist of it and I know I could teach from it because all the little intricate details don't matter. People like, oh, Tony, this person had $100, not 50. That don't matter. The principle of this story is what matters. And so you have to curate your mind. You got to curate what you put into your mind. And you got to be mindful of what you're putting into your mind. And you don't want to put good and then bad. So think about what I'm trying to tell you. Picture this. If you on the treadmill, picture being on the treadmill, but eating a bucket of KFC chicken and drinking a Coca-Cola. That's what you're doing when you watch this type of video and then you go watch toxic content like the idiot woman y'all be talking about who name start with an S. When you watch this content, then you go watch an idiot, you just canceled out everything you just learned. So you have to curate your brain and what you putting into your mind. And that encompasses brain. The first thing you do in the morning, when you wake up, you need to open your Bible and you need to read a chapter of Proverbs. When you get through Proverbs, you could go through Proverbs again, and you could go through Proverbs again, and you could go through Proverbs again until it is written upon the tables of your heart and you feel like you know it like your shoe size. Then you can keep going through Proverbs. And then after you get out of Proverbs, then you could go on over to the New Testament. You go to the book of John. So now you get to this book of John and you read the book of John. You know, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. You read the story of Jesus. And then after John, you go to the next chapter, go to the next chapter, go to the next chapter, and you go all the way up to the book of Revelation. Don't read the book of Revelation. It's not going to do nothing for you right now. And if you're a baby and reading the Bible. And then you go back to Proverbs. Then you go back to John. After you done read through that, you might want to read Matthew, Mark. It's okay to read Matthew, Mark, and Luke. And get that in. Because this what we live in. See, the Old Testament is the law. So it's good to read the Old Testament, but it's not 100% necessary for a baby if you new to it. Once you get a little seasoned, then you could go understand the law and what we come from. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, and the law. We live under Jesus Christ. So yes, it always people say, oh, you need the whole Bible. Hush. This ain't your channel. I'm teaching you how I developed in the Lord, being raised by a pastor. Somebody who read 10 chapters a day, or who done read the whole Bible front to back, cover to cover. So a lot of times y'all taking advice from people who ain't even read the whole Bible cover to cover. But my daddy read the whole Bible cover to cover, time and time and time again. And so when I got ready to start reading, this is the exact plan he gave me. Proverbs, Book of John, up to Revelation. And do that over and over till you feel good. Then you could read Genesis all the way. Hey, my phone was plugged in. The lady thought I was talking to her on the car, and then when she came on, my phone plugged in the car play, so it stopped the video. Boy, that technology. Like, y'all can't tell them in here doing something, ma'am, and I did not call you. Mind your business. In here listening, ear hustling, talking about how can I help you. I ain't ask you no question, ma'am. And so this is what my father taught me, who had read the Bible front to back numerous times, of how to read the Bible. So this is why I'm sharing this with you. This come from a pastor, not just fly by night. Because every time I say that, people, oh, you need to read the whole Bible. That's like giving steak to a baby. So you have to use wisdom with this. So that's part of your brain. Learning, getting that word in you, reading that Bible. Also, learning yourself. You want to learn about yourself. If you're a man, if you're a woman, you want to learn about your gender, how your body works, what you need to be doing, how you need to eat, how you need to sleep, how you need to work out, how you need to stretch, how you need to learn about you. You want to learn about you first and really understand you, and you want to master you. This is the purpose of the 3 B's, brains, brand, body. You mastering you. And then you learn about the opposite sex. You learn about the opposite sex, and you learn about them equally as much. So I'll read articles on my woman's body, on my wife's body. I learn about her body. I learn about how 15 million women a year go through a depression that has nothing to do with anybody else other than being a woman. Have nothing to do with her job, nothing to do with her marriage, have nothing to do with nothing other than being a woman. 15 million women a year go through depression. I learn about that. I learn about the breasts. I learn about the areolas. I learn about the vulva. I learn about the clitoris. I learn about the G-spot. I learn about the booty. I learn about the muscle building. I learn about how women carry fat. I learn about the menstrual cycle. I learn about the birth process. I read it and I study it. I learn about the hormones that women have. I learn about all of that. And I'm studying and studying so I understand who I'm with. I understand how to talk to her. I understand how to love her. So when you feeding your brain, it's not just about relationship knowledge. It's about learning about the opposite sex. So when you learn about the opposite sex, then you start to really get a holistic view. So it ain't just about you. You know what the opposite sex need too. You know what you're gonna know what your spouse need as far as affirmation, as far as the physical touch and the love that they need. You're gonna know that. So you getting that knowledge in your brain. The other part of the brain is your knowledge. You want to be a student of life. You want to be a consummate student of life. So what this means is you're learning, you taking and you learning about the world. You learning about politics. You learning about money. You learning about real estate. You learning about everything that you could get your hand on. You learning about this stuff. You learning about this and you getting this in your spirit. This is so interesting. They have an education program here with this club, and it's wild because it's like it's crazy to see, like, it's a bunch of kids who will never play like at the academy level or like the highest level, but they get to come to school here. Like, they come to school here and they play soccer, and they out there training, and they train just like a regular team, and they play games too. And that's just so interesting. And they call it football education. And that is interesting. So that's another way, like, if we wanted to live here, my son could do that. He could be in the football education program, but train with the academy team. And that's just interesting. Y'all forgive me. So you getting this knowledge. And so brain encompasses everything that you need to learn, know, feel, hear, see. All of this you feeding your mind. And you should be a student. So you got to ask yourself, when you watching the Housewives, when you watching the Love and Hip Hop, when you watching Couples Retreat, when you watching this stuff, you got to ask yourself, am I learning something from this? Is this adding to my life? Is it adding to my joy? Is it adding to my peace? If the answer is no, if it's only entertainment and you don't count that as joy, then you need to cut it out, because you will feel joyous learning a secret to your body. So right now I'm learning my body. And as I'm learning my body, I'm becoming more in tune with my body. And I'm feeling the change, and I'm feeling that, wow, what I learned is actually right, because what I learned, I could feel it. I didn't just learn this, I could feel this. So this right. Like, man, okay, cool. All right. And then you're going to learn. And so this is where that feeding that brain come in. Feeding that brain. Now, next you have the brand. The brand also encompasses a lot, and I had to develop this and add to it. And I want you to understand, I'm just giving you a template. You can add to it. You can say, oh, I'm gonna add this to the brain. I'm gonna add this right here to the brain. That's for you. I'm gonna add this to the brand. I'm gonna add this to the body. That's for you. But your brand, people try to say, I once seen somebody say, you are not a brand, you are a person. No, you are a brand. The same way a company run, that's how you got to run. The same way you are a brand. Your name is a brand. When you hear McDonald's, what do you think of? You think of flat patties and toxic fries, but good on the go and could be addicting. When you hear Walmart, when you hear Target. So think about that. When you hear Tony Gaskins, what do you think about? A lot of times, anybody who come up to me in the airport, wherever, they say, you're a relationship coach. That's my brand. So as much as I want to talk about business, as much as I want to talk about entrepreneurship, as much as I want to talk about whatever else I want to talk about, I'm known as a relationship coach. And I can't get away from that. I can't get mad about that. I'm known as a relationship coach. That's my brand. That's how I blew up. That's what went viral first. That's what I'm known for. A relationship coach. So you have a brand. So your brand is your personality. It is your character. It is your reputation. And it is what you do for a living. So the business that you start, or the company that you work for, the career that you're in, that's also a part of your brand. And what could be split between brand and body, your brand is also just your name, like how you carry yourself. So your brand, if you sleep around, you messing up your brand. You also sinning against your body, but you messing up your brand. So with your brand, and this is one thing that I want you to understand, it's okay to have a career. It's great to have a career. If you have a career that is respectable, that people aspire to. So if you're in customer service, unless you're going to become the manager or the supervisor of that customer service, you answering the phone and talking to people, That's not enough, and you should not get complacent there. Because no one aspires to just answer the phone. Now, if you become a nurse, a doctor, a lawyer, a superintendent, a supervisor, a manager, a assistant principal, a principal, a coach, an assistant coach, if you become something that people aspire to, now that career is validated in the world and on the dating market. That's tough. It's tough. It's tough. I know. But think about this. I can't remember what you'll call it. But like I worked in a group home. So behavior, whatever, support, whatever it was. I don't even remember if we had a real title. But I worked in a group home, right? In the group home, I started at $8.50 an hour. This was back in the day, 2006. Did some training, got to $9 an hour, did more training, got to $9.50. I was at $9.50 for 4 years. In the last few months, I got a raise to $10 an hour. $10 an hour. $10 an hour, I was making $20,000 a year. When I was at $9.50 the year before, I was making $20,000 a year. So think about this. If you are a single woman, do you want a man who make $20,000 a year? No. So guess what? That's why we can't get complacent with where we are. Now, yes, in this, I am working with men who the world despises, the world looks down on, the world overlooks them, the world mistreats them. So I'm showing love and support to people who have been forgotten about. That is noble, that is respectable, but that is broke. So my wife loved me in that, and we got married in that. We lived off of that, and that's why I got a real one. So when you look and you see her with Louis Vuitton and Chanel and all of this here, different Gucci and all the expensive jewelry, Cartier and all of that, she was with me when I was at the bottom. So I give her the world. I give her the world. Spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially, I give her the world. Every time I could think about it, every time I'm able, baby, here go $2,000. Baby, here go $4,000. Baby, hey, go buy you this. Hey, go do this right here to your hair. Hey, get your hair done. Hey, get your whatever done. I try to do that because I was at that $20,000 a year and she was married to me. But if you're a single woman today, do you want a man who at minimum wage, basically? No, you don't. So if you a woman at minimum wage, a man don't want you either. Now, it used to be men didn't care about what a woman do, but we're in a new day-to-day. And the people's always talking about married people can't talk about dating. We still know what's going on in the world. We still know what to change. But we also know the foundation and the principles that it's going to take to get married and stay married. So that's why we could touch on this here. But a man now is also going to look at a woman. Now, a real man, like the top 1% man, that is just not enough of them to go around. So you most likely will never meet him unless you become a top 1% woman. And that is very hard to do. A top 1% is somebody who has mastered brain, brand, body. If you don't have extra fat on your stomach and you have taken care of your body and you haven't slept with a bunch of people and you make 6 figures and you know love, you know relationships, you know yourself, you know the opposite sex, that is when you consider top 1%. If you got any excess meat on your bones, if you under 6 figures, if you still learning love and all of that to the point to where you still trying to figure it out and make it work, then you're not considered in the top 1%. So that's why I want you to understand, you know how hard it is to be getting that top 1%. And so, man, it ain't about genetics. Like, it ain't even got to be about height or none of that or nothing. It's just the work you put in. Because your body, that's the work you put in. Your money, that's the work you put in. Your mind, that's the work you put in. So it is extremely hard to get to that top 1%. And so a lot of people are in the bottom 50%, but they want somebody in the top 1% because they delusional and it don't go together. So you got to get this here reality, and you got to love yourself, and you got to work on yourself. And so when you working on your brand, you can't get complacent on your job. You can't get complacent where you at. So if you in a job and you doing that job because it pay your bills and that's what you need to do, that's great, but don't get complacent right there. Start building something on the side. Create something that you can't be fired from. A lot of people say, well, Tony, I don't want to be an entrepreneur, and brand sound like you got to be an entrepreneur. You don't have to be an entrepreneur, but you do need to create something that you can't be fired from. So you could keep your job. You could be a slave to your job long as you want to. You could love your job long as you want to. But in the branding phase of your life, you need to start something. It can simply be a blog. It could simply be a lifestyle TikTok channel. It could simply be a vlogging YouTube channel. You need to create something, because if you don't build your dream, someone will hire you to build theirs. So if you are a lawyer, the goal should be to have your own firm, or to use the money you make and retire and go do your own thing. If you are a doctor, the goal should be to have your own office, your own practice, a private practice. Whatever you do, your goal should be to be the best at it, to be at the top of it. If you in customer service, because that's all your education and experience will allow, it's nothing wrong with that. But your goal should be to climb the ranks. Climb the ranks, get promotion. My homeboy wife, she work at the DMV. The DMV is a respectable job in the sense of you working in a clean, respectable company. But it's a job that doesn't require education. You could come in there, you could start at the bottom. She started at the bottom, but guess what? She done got promotion after promotion after promotion, and she get to move around now. So now she went from random city to now she downtown. She got downtown office and she got a promotion. Now she got power. When I need something done, need my tag renewed, I could, hit him up. He put us in a group chat. Boop, boop, boop. She could hit the button. Doop, 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 doop. Tag. Send out to me. I ain't even got to go to the DMV. She done climbed the ranks. You know why? Because she go in there and she go in there with energy. She go in there with energy. She do her job at 150%. Even though it's an entry-level job, when she went there, she do it at 150%. She learn fast. She do it. She adapt. She show up every day. She work hard. Boom, she got bumped up the ladder. That's the brand. That's the brand. So if somebody say, what you think about this person, they'll say, she a hard worker. She a hard worker. She dedicated, all of this. But guess what? On the side, she also used her artistic gift to do creative balloon decorations and to do creative desserts for parties. So she do party planning and party hosting with her desserts and her balloons. That's something she creating on the side. And she do t-shirts. She use her creativity to make money on the side. My homeboy, her husband, same thing. Entry-level job, working at an entry-level job, out there at the furniture place, promotion, boom, bumped up, moved to service. Now service department manager. Went from making 20K to making like 60K. And just done climbed the ranks over the last 15, 20 years, last 15, 16 years, done climbed the ranks. Now got employees under him. Same thing, show up, dedicated, good attitude, diligent. So in your brand, you are working on your name, you working on your character, you working on your personality, you working on you, and you building the ranks. Outside of that, my homeboy do security. So he done made tens of thousands of dollars doing security for me. He do security. He did security at the club, did security for other celebrities that I done put him in touch with. He do security, do that on the side. So that right there, boom. So when he need to take off, call the job ahead of time. Hey, got this trip, got this gig, boom. And what you got to do, you can't be afraid in the branding phase. You can't be afraid to build something on the side that you love, that you passionate about. If you're not passionate about your job, you can't be afraid to build something that you're passionate about, because, and then when it take a lot of time or you got to go somewhere, you put a notice in at your job, hey, I need these 2 days off, or I need this week off, or I need these 2 weeks off, or I need X amount of time off. If they say no, then you take it anyways. If they fire you, then that shows you got so much motion in your passion that it's time to leave that job. You got to make your job fire you when you working in your passion, unless your job is your passion. Now, so again, listen now. Because people are like, oh, he's happy entrepreneur. If you like your job, you love your job, and you happy with your job, and everything that come with it, the perception of it, the view of it, because you might love your job, but somebody else might see your job like, okay, it might not be attractive. And so you got to understand that people perception is their reality, and they got the right to perceive. So everybody think different. Like somebody might be a dog groomer, and that's their passion. Me personally, I'm be like, oh, so you like playing with animals all day? Okay, all right. So you coming home with a lot of measles and fleas and a bunch of fur, a bunch of, okay, all right, I'll give you a church hug. Don't get too good. Oh yeah, can you get right in the shower? Thank you. And so it's like, people might not like your job. People might not like your job. And you got to be okay with that. You got to be okay with that and be able to say, you know what? Not everybody gonna like my job, but I love my job. I'm happy with my job. I'm good. If you don't like it, okay, oh well. I don't care. I'm going about my business. And then you go on about your business. And so this is what you got to realize and understand. And then lastly, we got the body. Now with the body, the first thing I want to start with is preserving your body. Don't make the mistake that I made and that a lot of people have made, being promiscuous. Preserve your body. How many ever people you have slept with, let that be all. You done. Until you married, you not sleeping with nobody else. You done sleeping with people. Until you marry, if you sleeping with somebody right now, that need to be the person that you marry. If you sleeping with them, that need to be the person that you marry. If you know it's not the person to marry, then stop sleeping with them. Preserve your body. There is a double standard in this, because a lot of times women want the men that other women want. And so women try to cap and say, oh, it's disgusting if a man has slept with a bunch of women, but that's cap. You lying, because the man that you want could get a bunch of women and has slept with a bunch of women. And so that's the thing, is you're not really finding virgin men. So the men that women be describing, he need to be 6 foot tall. I want him to make 6 figures. I want him to have a 6-pack of abs. Okay, you are describing a ladies' man. You just described a ladies' man. You just described what the women calling a heartthrob. Like, that man is what every woman wants. And he's not a virgin. So guess what? He done slept around. He done put in some work. So that's what you got to realize and understand. There is a double standard on that. It should not be a double standard, but there is. I didn't make the rule. I'm just addressing the rule. If you a man, listen to this, you need to save yourself. Do not sleep with another woman. If you're not a virgin, don't sleep with another woman until it's your wife. Because it is lame, it is nasty, it is weak, it is broken, it is insecure. Living a promiscuous lifestyle is the depths of hell. It's everything that we should not do, and it's everything that we should not be. And if I could do it over, I would do it totally different. And I want y'all to realize and understand that you're not missing anything by not having sex. You're not missing anything. That's feeding your flesh. That's feeding your mind. But you're not missing anything. It ain't nothing but an orgasm. So you got to realize and understand that. And get this here in your mind. This lady in front of me is driving like a van. It ain't like no caravan. It look like a cargo van. This is the most interesting thing. She must got a bunch of kids. Got a full family. So that's the first part of your body. The next thing of your body is you want to learn your body. What is your blood type? Figure out your blood type. Then Google blood type diet and learn what type of diet is best for your blood type. Then you want to take and you want to create a workout routine. And what you want to start doing is you want to build muscle. Don't just do a bunch of cardio, because y'all see how long distance runners look. They look like if a good wind blow, it's going to pick them up and take them with it. You need to build muscle. It's okay to run and all that, do cardio, but you need to lift weights. And to the women, no, you're not going to look like a man. It's going to take a whole lot. It's a lot of women that follow me on Instagram who they lift weights. They don't even do cardio. They lift weights. And they have built the body that men drool over. And some of them are my clients because I help them build a brand, start their fitness app, start their fitness clothing line. And they have built the body. Now, for me personally, they get their thighs a little too big. It'd be a little too big because I'm like, okay, what happened when you get pregnant now and you put that pregnant weight on top of that big old thigh? They thighs be two of my thighs. It be muscle now, but women already got thighs. So you got to do what work for your body, and you got to know your body, learn your body, and you just got to make sure you ain't doing too much. So it's kind of like, okay, your thighs is good. All right, can you do some curls? Can you get on the bench press or something? Can you do something now? And thighs is good. And so learn your body and build your body proportionately. And you want to have a workout routine. Honestly, you need to be moving every day, 7 days a week. You need to be doing some type of movement. If you can't get outside, do some squats in the house. Do 50 squats. You might have to start with 10. Next day, do 10. When you get to 50, you want to get to 100 squats a day, 100 push-ups a day. Sit-ups, you're not pulling on your neck. Remember, hand beside your head. Boom, you can do sit-ups. You can do crunches if sit-ups bad for your back. But do movement 30 minutes a day. And then you want to figure out your eating. We talked about the blood type diet. So, for example, somebody was talking about red meat and how red meat is amazing for you, how it's great for you. Well, another lady commented on to that lady and was like, red meat make me sick. It make me dizzy. It mess me up. And that's the thing. That's what I mean by the blood type diet. So my wife, her blood type is more for like salads and seafood. And my blood type, O positive, is red meat. And I talked to a blood type dietitian one time at dinner, just randomly. He's like a chef and he studied the blood type diet. He said, blood type O is the only blood type that can truly, properly break down red meat. That's what he said. Now I ain't go read it and look it up too much for myself, but when he said that, I'm like, that's why I always crave red meat. Like I always will crave like a steak. And then somebody come in the comments talking about Dr. CB and all of these people talking about we not supposed to eat animal flesh. That's a lie. Because there's people living longer than Dr. CB live. And they eat animal flesh. It's people 112 years old eat chicken every day. And they talking about chicken poison. That's a lie. If you eating it from a poisonous farm where they put all the steroids and all that, yeah, it's poison. But God made the animals for humans to live off the land. Not just on plants and vegetables, but on the animals too. That's why we got the food chain. That's what the food chain is. You don't eat some of the darn animals will eat you, not the cows and stuff. And that's what you have to learn your body, because you might not be a red meat eater. You might be a white meat eater. And so you have to learn your body. And you do this by learning your blood type, doing your blood work, talking to a doctor, talk to 3 doctors. Because sometimes they don't know what they talking about. Sometimes doctors be drunk, they be hungover. Sometimes they be on cocaine. Sometimes they done got through school with their looks. Sometimes they done, suck their way through the classes. That's a literal thing now. Not every doctor know what he or she is talking about. Go look at Dr. Death. This man was a whole surgeon, got all the way through school and everything. Was a whole surgeon and was killing people because he did not know a thing about doing back surgery, and was doing back surgery, did back surgery on his friend, knowing he didn't know nothing about no back surgery, did back surgery on his friend handicapped for life, his friend paralyzed for life. So you got to be careful with your doctor. You need to go talk to 3 doctors with your blood work and learn about. And another thing, dietitian and nutritionists, they're not doctors. They study that stuff, but they don't fully understand everything about the heart and about the body. So don't just talk to a nutritionist and a dietitian. Talk to a doctor too, because a doctor have studied the heart and your blood type and your heart. And so do your due diligence. Talk to multiple resources. Pull what you need, because here's the thing about your body. You're going to hear this over here. You're going to hear this. Like my wife, she anemic. So she can't really fast. So she tell me fasting ain't good. But my body will hold on to meat. My body will hold on to what I eat. I need a fast. I feel amazing when I fast. I feel lean, the bloating go away. I feel amazing. Our bodies are different. So I can't tell her, hey, you need to do a fast. You need to do intermittent fasting, because her body is different. She got other ailments from how she was raised, how she ate growing up. She got other ailments. My body different. My son body different. My other son body different. Learn your body. So for one, stay off your bike, keep your pants zipped up. And then 2, learn your body. And you need to be perfecting your body. Your body is your temple. This year, by December 31st, we need to have a body that we could look in the mirror and be proud of. By December 31st, we need to be on a roll with our workout schedule, with our eating schedule. We need to be doing you have to stop being gluttonous. You have to stop being lazy. You have to stop living in your generational curses. And you have to do what God has intended for you to do with your body. Take care of your body, love yourself, treat yourself with love and respect, and create a lifestyle, a habit, and a routine. This is not something that you just finna do till you lose 10 pounds and then you go back to your old ways and then you put on 20 pounds. I have done that. I think I have done that twice. I went keto one time, lost 10 pounds, put back on 20. I went vegan one time, lost 10 pounds, put back on 20. And let me tell you what the key was in both of those times when I lost that weight? It was eating less, because it was harder to find food and it was harder to figure out what to eat. I went longer without a meal. So it really was the intermittent fasting and then not eating junky carbs. That's what made me lose the 10 pounds in 2 weeks. But then when I went back to eating junky carbs and fast food and soda, I gained them 10 pounds back and then eventually gained extra pounds. So I done got on the scale and been 210 pounds. When I was 200 for the longest, just because how I eat, I just maintained. But then when I got on that keto and when I got on that vegan, I went to 190. And when I got to that 190, I could see my abs again, stomach flat. So that let me know at 5'10", 190 with muscle, I can have a flat stomach. And that's good. So that's my goal, to get back down 190 and stay there, maintain that. But do it with a lifestyle change so that now the way that you eat is the way you eat all the time. It's not just the way you eat for 2 weeks. It's not just the way you eat for a month. It's not just the way you eat for a little bit. It's the way you eat all the time. This is what you're doing. So get this in your spirit. Get this in your spirit. Learn this and start to work on it and put this together. Brains, brand, body. Brains, brand, body. I seen another lady, she gonna talk about, yeah, I got this thing called the 3 B's. Helpful. You ain't got no 3 B's. She talking about beauty, balance, something. Man, you don't stop stealing with 3 B's. And now y'all talking about the 4 B's. But the Lord gave this to me when I was writing my book. If you have not read the book, and reason why I don't promote old books is because I was raw. I was real. But the book is on Amazon. It's called Mrs. Right. When you scroll down, you got to make sure the publisher is Soul Writers, because that's my company. In the details, you'll see the publisher is Soul Writers, or it might say Amazon Distribution, but it's called Mrs. Right. And it should have like a bunch of reviews, like a bunch of stars. Now, you can't read the reviews now. I know y'all know that y'all can read the reviews. But you'll see the reviews, how people get their toes stepped on, they get their feelings hurt. But the book is called Mrs. Right. And in Mrs. Right, I gave the game away. I don't know if I specifically said 3 B's, but it's in there. I gave the game away, and I really break it down to a woman from a male perspective. I break down even like, what does a low haircut say? What does long hair say? What do flats say? What do heels say? And I'm just basically helping you on the brain part of understanding the male psyche and understand how men see, how men think, how men are. And of course, that's gonna be, offensive at times. Not necessarily offensive, or it could be offensive, it could be shocking, it could be disheartening, it could be whatever, but it was real. So that book is 14 years old. That book came out in 2012. That book, 14 years old. Man, it's been a while. I've been doing this for a long time. My first book, What Daddy Never Told His Little Girl, that may be on Amazon too. That book is What Daddy Never Told His Little Girl. 17 years old. 17. That book older than my son. 17 years old. But get Mrs. Right, because Mrs. Right basically is what Daddy Never Told His Little Girl, just did over and just done different, done better. Get Mrs. Right, and that's going to give you some of that insight right there. For the men, I wrote a book called The New Guy Code, and I got another book that's coming out for men. Right now it's called War, but I may change the name. Instead of using the acronym, I may spell out the acronym. But we working on that right now. That's going to be an audio book. And I got partners on that. Blessed Tribe members join me in that right there as partners in the book. So there's something new that I'm doing so that those partners in the book, they will receive royalties from the audio book sales, which will be sold on iTunes and Google Play and all of that. And so probably be on Amazon too, like they MP3 player and all of that. So be ready for that. Be ready for that and get that in your spirit. But hey, this Tony Gaskin, God bless you. We'll talk soon.